Good evening. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. My name is Leon Jones. Tonight's topic, I'm going to talk about the media's excessive promotion of white supremacy. This is from an article by Brother Katab, who is a well known journalist and historian of black history. Now, if you have been listening to my podcast on Blog Talk Radio, you will hear the components put into one segment with the conclusion to give you an idea of why we hate each other in a more detailed form. What I have done is taken each component and broken it down into 3 videos, but you have to watch all 3 videos to understand why we do not like each other. And it's deeper than what you think. Now, the first videos that I had done, one talked about the miseducation of God, and the other talked about the Stockholm Syndrome. Well, when it comes to the media's excessive promotion of white supremacy, one of the biggest reasons to why black people hate each other today basically stems from the images. And the images are the promotion of white skin and white features as being beautiful and superior, whereas black skin and black features as being inferior and ugly. Now, this basically happens when it comes to women, because women are always in competition with each other. Now, for instance, the standard of beauty in all forms of mainstream media today is basically European, which means white or fair-skinned people with blonde, straight hair, whether it be in films, TV shows, or any form of in-person entertainment. The dominant portrayal of beauty is European, which is white. Now, what this means for African American people, women in particular, is that the lighter your skin is, the more you are commercialized as being beautiful and good looking in the eyes of media. Now, media puts out all of these images of the standard of beauty. And again, the images are basically European and white. This white or light skin standard of beauty defaults brown and darker skinned women to be less beautiful or ugly in the media. And since the media dictates the culture in regards to what's in and what's not, many black women who are dark in complexion now think of themselves as ugly. And as a result, many black women have set out to lighten their skin color and alter their physical features to look European so that they can be perceived as beautiful in the eyes of this European society here in America. Now, the evidence of this is clearly seen in some of today's celebrities like Little Kim, Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, and Tammy Roman. And that's just to name a few. But these individuals that we know have all bleached their skin and straightened their hair to look like white people. Now, from a common sense standpoint, any woman or man who would bleach their skin and alter their hair to look identical to those who are oppressing their people would be considered crazy, insecure, and in desperate need of some psychotherapy. However, since the media promotes these women as beautiful and successful, society by default agrees with the media and sees nothing wrong with black women trying to look like white women. Now, consequently, the media's ideology of pale-skinned women with straight hair being the standard of beauty plants roots in the minds of black America to see white people as beautiful and our own people as being ugly. This is why black men date white women, because they've been socialized to think that white skin and blonde or straight hair looks better than black skin and kinks. Now, as a result, many black women wear blonde or straight hair weaves to look more European because they want to please their black men who think their natural hair looks ugly. Now, not being able to feel beautiful in her own skin causes the black woman to hate both herself and black men, which forces her to date outside her race as well. And this is why there are so many interracial relationships, because black people have been systematically programmed to hate each other. I'm going to repeat that again. Black people have been systematically programmed to hate each other. Now, interracial dating is not just a trend or a fad. It is a sign that black people no longer see themselves as beautiful anymore. And when a people no longer think they are beautiful, they integrate with the people they think are beautiful. This is why the black family is rapidly decreasing and interracial marriage amongst blacks is rapidly increasing. When a black man or woman looks in the mirror and doesn't like their woolly hair, broad noses, and melanin skin, by default, they don't want to bring children in the world that look like them. Therefore, they make it their number one goal to have children by someone of the race which society deems as the standard of beauty, because they don't want to hate their children the same way they hate themselves. Now, I'm going to leave you with this quote from Malcolm X. Listen carefully, because this is important. You can't hate the roots of the tree without ending up hating the tree. You can't hate your origin without ending up hating yourself. You can't hate the land, your motherland, the place that you came from, and we can't hate Africa without ending up hating ourselves. The black man in the Western Hemisphere, North America, Central America, South America, and in the Caribbean is the best example of how one can be made skillfully to hate himself that you can find anywhere on this earth. Now, there are many reasons as to why black people hate each other, but the three that I mentioned seem to be the most prevalent in my humble opinion. The self-hating Negro is a byproduct of the man-made religion of Christianity, the inherited Stockholm Syndrome, and the mainstream media's excessive promotion of white supremacy, which all derive from slavery. In regards to a solution to fixing our self-hatred, I believe the answer is to do what the Most High told us to do in His Torah, to love our neighbors as ourselves, and that's in Leviticus verse 19, that's Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. By neighbor, it means to love your fellow brothers and sisters, the so-called African Americans. But in order to love our neighbors, we must first begin to love ourselves. And the only way we can learn to love ourselves is to stop seeing each other through the eyes of our oppressor. And Marcus Garvey once stated, we need to remove the kinks from our minds and not our hair. Now, with that being said, I want all of my brothers and sisters, no matter what your complexion is, to know that you are the most beautiful people in the world. We are the only people on earth who share the color of the Creator, and that's black. Therefore, we are beautiful by nature because we resemble the Almighty. So you should never let organized religion, the public school system, or the racist media influence you to define our people's beauty by their European standards. We are the original people, and the moral conduct and standards of beauty should be defined by us. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show for this evening, Wednesday, July 25th, 2018. You can tune in to the 411 Talk Zone radio show every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Blog Talk Radio. Guest calling number is 215-383-5785. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube so I can continue to give you quality information for educational purposes. from a professional and mature perspective. Now, on my channel, I do not engage in controversial issues, emotional issues, nor do I debate. Now, some of the issues like this one may be sensitive because it's uncomfortable when you do not know your history. But here at the 401 Talk Zone radio show, I promote education / teaching, self-awareness, and this channel is a therapeutic channel. But if the subject matter is sensitive, that means I am pushing someone's buttons because you're the one who needs to improve. But you can't improve without having the right information. And this is why I don't engage in all these YouTube beefs or dramas. Why? Because I'm actually getting to the deepness of all the issues. I'm not talking from the top, and I'm invoking some biblical scriptures because too many of us as African American people don't read. We think we know the answers, but we really don't know the answers. And we've been trained not to educate ourselves. We've been trained as robots to listen to what the oppressor tells us to listen to, and that's the media. But if you open up your minds, get more knowledge, you'll find out that you have more power than you think you have, and you'll gain confidence. And as an African American person, once you understand your history, it's much easier for you to understand the Most High. Now, you must look at the kingdom from a biblical perspective: God, man, woman, and child. And must understand that the religions that you are involving yourself with are pagan or man-made religions. Remember, there's a difference between biblical and Christianity. Biblical comes from God. Christianity comes from man. Also, when it comes to being positive, what I do on my channel is promote positivity. I see a number of African American channels that aren't very positive. We already know what the problems are. At the end of the day, we can solve the problems. And here's something else I want to put out. It's funny, we don't even believe in ourselves when it comes to solving issues. But when a white man steps in front of us, we will listen to that. And that is one part of white supremacy that we know as Stockholm Syndrome. We tend to believe what they say instead of what we say. And when your culture has been stripped from you, what we have to do is start picking up some books and peel back the layers that have sunken us in our minds to the bottom. Black people are the chosen ones, but we have to believe that in ourselves. And at the end of the day, there's no church, there's no media, and there's no public school system sponsored by white supremacy that is going to tell you you're inferior. You think you're inferior, but you're not. It takes a little work to pick yourselves up from the bootstraps. But first and foremost, we have to stop denying and we have to stop lying to each other. Hate only persists when we utilize it in our minds to go somewhere else. And when I say go somewhere else, I'm talking about going over there to the race we deify. And that is a problem. We need to uplift ourselves and stop deifying the oppressor. Because at the end of the day, that does put us in the realm of needing psychotherapy. It makes no sense for us to hate each other. And the beefs, which are immature, that we have on YouTube and what's going on in the African American community, we don't have to do that. We don't have to involve ourselves in drama that makes them rich and makes us look like we are a bunch of savages. Again, what we have to do as African American brothers and sisters, we have to learn to embrace our beauty. And once we embrace our beauty, we will have confidence to stand up to white supremacy or this white culture of thinking. Until then, if we do not take the time to figure out what's going on in our minds when it comes to hating one another, the black race is going to be extinct. And for me saying that, if you have a topic, a new YouTube channel, or business that you would like for me to discuss on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, simply email me at lej6521@gmail.com. And if you have a comment, please leave your comment in the comment section under the video. But make sure that your comments are pithy. No bloviating, pettifogging, or filibustering if you wish to opine. Now that's it for this video. Till next time. My name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other, and have a wonderful and blessed evening. God bless you, and good night.